Today, we're diving into the absolute peak of human optimization. I'm not talking about a new workout or a diet. We're going way beyond that, into the realm of complete biological restructuring. This is an explainer on something called the Phat Sirius protocol.
So let me just ask you this. What if all the things that make us fragile, the need to rest, the fact that we can get hurt, our vulnerability to the cold, what if all of that was just optional? What if you could just, upgrade the whole system?
And that, right there, is the core idea behind Phat Sirius. Now, you've got to understand, this isn't some trendy lifestyle change. The source material we're looking at describes it as a total physical re-engineering. It's about transforming the human body into this incredibly dense, ridiculously powerful engine.
So what do you get when you do this? Well, you get a state that the protocol calls the internal fortress. Basically, it's the level of physical dominance it's almost hard to wrap your head around. Let's break down what that actually means.
And this is where you really see the difference. On one hand, you've got the standard human body. Frail, needs a lot of downtime to recover, sensitive to its environment. But on the other hand, you've got the Phat Sirius optimized version. It has a biometric buffer for durability, it's in a state of constant active repair, and it's running a superior metabolic furnace. The gap between the two is just staggering.
Okay, so what we're really talking about here are three core benefits that completely rewrite the rules of what a body can do: impact resistance, infinite recovery, and thermal regulation. Let's look at each one. First up, impact resistance. The way the protocol gets this is through this incredible increase in your body's mass and density. But it's not just about being bigger. It's about turning your body into a living, breathing shield, a natural, full-body shock absorber that makes your entire skeleton tougher against any kind of trauma. All right, now this next one, this is where things get really wild. Infinite recovery. Your body enters this permanent state of what they call active repair. Your cells turn over so fast it's described as practically instantaneous. Just think about that for a second. A state where muscle fatigue just isn't a thing anymore. The very need for rest is basically gone.
And finally, thermal regulation. Your body effectively becomes its own furnace. It stops reacting to the outside world. It just generates its own internal atmosphere. You can maintain peak performance no matter what the conditions are outside. You're completely independent from your environment.
So, a body that can't be hurt, never gets tired, and doesn't care about the cold. Sounds perfect, doesn't it? But you know how this goes. There's always a catch. So, what's the price for this kind of perfection?
And here's the kicker. The number of negative physical side effects? 0. Absolutely none. The source material is crystal clear on this. No crash, no strain on your organs, no loss of mobility. From a biological point of view, it's flawless. Which, of course, makes you wonder, what's the catch?
And this is the thing. The source text makes a point to frame this with extreme seriousness. It states that while the cost to your body is nothing, there is one profound, unavoidable, existential tax you have to pay to get to this state of physical perfection.
You become French.
And let's be clear, we're not talking about a cultural change here. This transformation is described as a clinical, almost physiological side effect. As the body achieves peak density, your DNA apparently just reorganizes itself into a more Gallic structure. So let's go over the documented symptoms.
The process happens in 4 clear stages. First, a psychological shift. Your baseline level of arrogance spikes so high it's literally unmeasurable. Second, a severe dietary rejection. Your body develops an acute physical allergy to any bread that doesn't meet some incredibly precise standards. Third, linguistic contraction. Your vocabulary shrinks, and most of your communication boils down to the word buff paired with a shrug. And finally, a societal impulse. You get this deep, primal urge to go on strike against yourself. So, let's just put this all together. The Phat Sirius protocol gives you total physical perfection. A body with strength and resilience you can't even imagine. And, we have to stress this, all of this comes with absolutely 0 negative biological costs. Just one, very specific, existential one. Which really just leaves one big question for you to think about. You get the body of a demigod, but in exchange, you will develop a deeply held, unshakable conviction about the exact temperature at which soft cheese should be served. So the question is it worth it?